Okay, so UFC Paris ended a couple days, and I will be doing my favorite thing, which is matchmaking. I'll only be doing the fights that matter. You won't be seeing Sean O'Bannon versus some random ass flyweight UFC fighter. We're talking about the fights that actually matter, starting from least important to most important, in my opinion, at least roughly. Anyways, let's get into this. Ante Delija, he had a great performance. He took on Tabora, and I thought Ante Delija would lose. It would be his first fight in the UFC. He's lost to Tybura before. I thought he would get the UFC jitters like everyone has gotten, but no, he just rushed in, blitzed Tybura like the fat obese man he saw. Like, he must have been standing across Tybura and was like, this guy does not belong. Tybura was ranked number 7. So, first of all, that means Ante Delija is going to be ranked number 7, which is great. I mean, the UFC heavyweight division, it needs new blood, and it has got new blood. Someone who isn't actually obese. And I just realized it looks like Ante Delija has 3 nipples. Maybe that's where he gets his power from. I have no clue, but it's working for him. So the fight I want him to take is against Curtis Blades. There were a few matchups for Ante Delija. All of them were in the top 5. We really need new blood. And I think Curtis Blades is the perfect fight for Ante Delija. Curtis Blades, he fought Chimaev, and even though he did win, it was really close. Like, he was close to losing that fight. I thought Curtis Blades won. I don't think it was a robbery at all. But still, he got beat up in some moments, and Curtis Blades, he's lost to a lot of the top guys. He's lost to Pavlovich, he's lost to Aspinall, and I think if I'm the UFC, I want to get rid of Curtis Blades. I want him to be replaced with someone new, and that new person is Ante Delija. And I think he can win this fight, and I'm hoping he wins this fight. This is a good fight for him. If he wins, he'll be easy, like he'll be in the top 5, and he'll be next for a title shot in 2 fights. Which is, I mean, that's just how empty the heavyweight division is. Like, you just got to rush these guys if they show any promise, because I don't want to see Aspinall just fuck up the same guy 3 times in a row. Please make this fight so Ante Delija can just scrap Curtis Blades. Even though Curtis Blades is a good fight, he's a good fighter. This will be a good fight, and it will be competitive. And Curtis Blades can win this, even though I'm leaning towards Ante Delija. The next fight, Tybura. Tybura fought Delija, and he lost. And since he lost, I'm really looking to get rid of Tybura. He's pretty ass, and he's been looking worse and worse. Like, you look at this PNG of him, and he looks pretty fat. He's only been getting in worse shape. When he fought Dalia, he looked even worse than this. He looked so obese, and yeah, I mean, let's just get this over with. Match make him against Tybura. I was looking about people on the edge of the rankings, people that we want to push up. I was looking at Teixeira, but he lost to Derek Lewis. I was like, I don't think he deserves to fight Tybura. Give him someone around his ranking first. I looked at Kuniev. He got his chance against Curtis Blades, and he made it close, but still, he's 0-1. I think he should fight someone around his ranking too. And Walter Walker has been looking really good, and he's around that place. I was thinking about Gaziev or Walter Walker, and I like Walter Walker. He's been finishing all his fights by the same submission heel hook, and I'd love to see him fight Tybura, and I'd love to see him just wipe out Tybura, because Tybura's ass, and he's been just looking worse and worse. Like, in 2 years, he'll probably be losing to complete trash cans. He'll probably be in PFL in 3 years. Let's be real. I mean, I don't know how he gets more and more obese. So Walter Walker should just, get rid of him, to be honest, yeah. I'm looking at Walter Walker winning by submission. Yeah. Next, Paul Craig. And you might be thinking, Paul Craig, man should retire. Nah, you are not retiring. Paul Craig, I'm sending you to BKFC. You know, I don't know why I'm feeling this. I want to see Paul Craig get knocked out. Let's send him to BKFC and let's see him get KO. Like, I want some highlight reel KOs. Paul Craig, yeah, that'll be fun. See Conor McGregor promoting Paul Craig just for him to get KO'd. That would be hilarious. That would be awesome. I'd love to see that. Sorry, Paul Craig, but I don't know, dude. I just have it out for you. I don't know why. He seems like a cool dude, but anyways, Bukowski, he got an excellent win over Paul Craig, and usually with Paul Craig, a lot of guys can beat him, but when you beat him, if you it, it's like it's tradition. If you beat Paul Craig, you get like you get a ranking, or you fight someone for the ranking at least. You get a push up. Like Barallo KO'd Paul Craig with ease. Actually, not even with complete ease. I'm gonna be honest. The first round was close with Barallo and Paul Craig. Bukowskis KO'd him in the first round completely easily, retired him. I think Bukowskis deserves someone ranked at least. He deserves someone on the edge of the rankings, and I think that person should be Krylov, because Krylov, he has been losing his last couple fights. He's 0-2 in his last two, and he has been looking worse and worse. So I think it's time to get him out the rankings. He's old and he's chinny and he hasn't been looking good. And I think it's perfect for Bukowski. And I will say this: Krylov can win this. Like Bukowski, he didn't look like he looked good. Paul Craig pulled guard because that's his only. I was gonna say like a retard. That's his only chance of winning. So Paul Craig pulling guard was just him trying to win. Like he was not gonna win on the feet. Let's be real here. And he got KO'd. And Bukowski, I don't think he's some super phenomenal fighter. I think Krylov can definitely win. So I think this is good for Krylov. If you lose the Bukowskis, you should call it quits. But if you can win, maybe we see a comeback from Krylov. I don't think that'll happen, but you never know. Don't count Krylov out. And Bukowskis, this is your chance to fight for the rankings. If you win this, you are ranked. If not, you are shit and just fight someone else and get KO'd for them, please. Like, we don't need you losing to Krylov in the big 2025. But yeah, next fight, BSD. BSD, I really thought he was going to lose against Rufi, and I was hoping for him to lose against Rufi, because Rufi, in the top, like, he would be ranked 13, we could push him up, but no, BSD had to ruin the moment. But it's still good on BSD, and it really makes you think, how good is Moicano? Because Moicano dusted him. Moicano completely destroyed him, worse than Dustin Poirier. Like, Moicano destroyed him. I guess it's just a stylistic matchup. I don't really see BSD as he's a good grappler, but he's like a tough man's grappler, if you know what I mean. Like, he isn't super technical. People who aren't good at grappling, like Rufi, he could beat them, sure, but someone who's technical, I think they beat BSD. And I think that with that performance against Rufi, I think the UFC should give him a little push up, like a little push in the division. And I think he should be fighting Dariush. Dariush, he's on a 2-fight loss. No, actually, no. Dariush beat Moicano in his last fight, and it was a good win. But Dariush did get knocked down in the first round, and he lost. I mean, he won the last two, and he was able to win that fight. Good on you, Dariush. But if I'm being honest, Dariush lost to Sarukian by KO. He lost to Charles Oliveira by KO. He's not. He's never fighting for the title. He's never fighting someone in the top 5. I think he should just get pushed out the rankings. Like I'm sick of these old men in the rankings. Like these old guys are in the top 15, they're in the top 10. And it's like, bro, take them out of here. I don't want to be looking at the rankings and seeing some 50-year-old with old gray hair. So yeah, let Darius fight BSD, and I hope BSD dusts him. BSD has great head kicks. Darius got KO'd with a head kick. And BSD, I mean, he leaves himself open, and I think Darius can out-grapple BSD, to be honest. So this isn't even a complete mismatch for Darius. I think Darius can definitely win this, and I'd probably even lean towards Darius. Darius, his striking hasn't looked the best recently. BSD isn't some phenomenal striker. Like, a lot of the times, he can just push forward and he has decent grappling. So if you fear the takedown, you won't be able to take advantage of his awful striking. I think Darius can, actually. I think Darius has better grappling. He showed that against Moicano. He completely out-wrestled Moicano, held him down for 2 rounds. And we saw what Moicano did to BSD. Not trying to use too much MMA math here, but I think their grappling will be interesting. And the striking, both of them, they're not super great strikers. They both have power, but I'd favor Darius in the technical striking, to be honest. So I think this is a great fight. BSD, prove that you can fight someone higher in the rankings, and Darius, defend your ranking. And I think that's all Darius should do. Unless he gets on like a 3-fight win streak, I think he should just be defending his ranking against these young guys. Push him out the ranking, bro. Like, we do not need to see Darius in the top 10 anymore. Like, it's over, bro. It's over. You're done. Okay. Marcio Rufi. I'm going to be honest, Rufi. Disappointment. Like, disappointment. He looked, I see people defending him, and it's like, okay, his grappling didn't look complete ass, but his striking, I know the threat of the takedown is there. I hear it, but still, he didn't land one significant strike. I don't think. I think the only thing he landed decently was a knee that like grazed BSD, but he didn't land anything good. He had no keeps. All he did was try to spam counters, which I was watching that fight and it looked so awful. Like he's just spamming counters, which sure that works against James against I don't even know if that's his first name. That works against Lawn Top. Fat man Lawn Top, an obese Mexican. That works against him. He's retarded. He's just gonna walk forward and throw punches, and sure you can counter him. Try that against anyone decent, and it's not gonna work. Like you have to throw first. So I'm matchmaking him against Nazareth Hasparast. Don't even know if I pronounced his name right. But hey, dude, win this and I'll pronounce your name right. Hasparast, Nazareth. He's been looking good. He put himself on quite the win streak. The only thing is, I do think he lost to Jared Gordon. I think that was a robbery, in my opinion. I think there's an argument he lost 3-0 against Jared Gordon. Like, it was in Abu Dhabi too, or Saudi, whatever. Same thing, bro. Same thing. But he fought after that, and he looked good. And he's a striker. I think this is a good fight for Rufi to prove that you can hang with the top guys. And Nazareth, I think he deserves to be ranked. After this fight, if he wins this fight, he can be ranked 15, or he should be fighting for the ranking after he wins this. If he wins this, I mean, and I think he does. Um, I don't even know if he wins this because he isn't really a heavy grappler. He does like to strike. Rufi likes to strike. This is a good matchup for Rufi, not giving him a heavy grappler. Let him fight this. Rufi hasn't really beaten anyone high level. He's really just beaten bums. And he has put in highlight reels against those bums. But let's see you fight someone good. Let's see you fight someone decent. Let's see if Rufi can prove he's legit. If he can beat Nazareth, he's legit. Even if he shows no grappling, even if he's still an ass grappler, he can still at least prove he is decent. If he beats Nazareth, let him fight for the ranking again. And I think this is a good fight. Based how Rufi looked in his last fight, I'd favor Nazareth, but Nazareth isn't really a grappler, so I'm really hyped for this fight. It was this fight or Ludovic Klein. But Ludovic Klein has a fight coming up, and he did lose to Gamrot. He had his chance, even though Gamrot is a really good grappler, and he's really underrated. He's the dark horse of the lightweight division, in my opinion. He still lost, and he's fighting someone else. We don't know how that fight's gonna go, even though he probably will win that. I think Rufi versus Nazareth. Show us you are an ass, Rufi. Like you got completely dog walked by BSD. Like come on, like I really thought Rufi would win that. Like BSD looks so ass, even though he keeps on winning. Even though he got dusted by Moicano and by Poirier, he's winning against these guys while looking like complete shit. Like his striking is ass. He has decent power. And his grappling isn't super technical. He just pushes like he just tough mans his way through grappling exchanges. Um, but yeah, this will be a good fight. See if Rufi can prove himself to be legit and not a can crusher. And let's see if Nazareth can get in the rankings. That'll be interesting. Okay, next is Barallo. Barallo fought Imavov, and he lost pretty clearly. I don't think it was a 50-45. One judge had it 50-45. Let me guess. The man is French. Lucky guess. I'm just saying. Wouldn't be surprised if he's French or paid off because that's dirty. 50-45, really? That was not a 50-45. And even though Barallo looked good, he doesn't have one win over anyone currently ranked in the top 10. His best win is Cannonier, who's ranked number 11 right now. So he has no win against anyone in the top 10. And I see people saying if Barallo should fight the loser of RDR versus Hernandez. And I do think that's a good fight. But I think DDP should fight the loser of that fight. And that doesn't leave a lot of guys in the top 5 for Barallo because I really don't think he really deserves anyone in the top 5 right now, if I'm being honest. I think he should fight Brendan Allen. Just saying. I know people will disagree with this. Like Brendan Allen, his last win, he's on a 1-fight win streak, and it's against Marvin Vettori, who's ass, who completely sucks. But still, when Allen, he fought Vettori, he won. Before that, he fought Hernandez, or he fought Imavov or Hernandez. I don't know what order, and he lost to both of them. But those losses are aging good because Imavov is going to fight for the title next, and Hernandez is fighting RDR, and if he wins, he's going to fight for the title too. So I don't think Hernandez. I mean, I don't think Brendan Allen. I don't think he's that like I don't think it's a crazy downstep in competition. I think he's right there with Barallo. They don't have a lot of high ranked wins. Like Barallo's best win is Cannonier, who's ranked 11. So I think this is a good fight for Barallo. Prove you can beat someone who's young and who's good. And Allen is decent. Like he has really good grappling. He has decent striking, and I think this is a good matchup. I think this is a good fight for Allen. If you can win, you can start looking against people in the top five. If Barallo can win, you can start challenging people in the top five too. Like you can have someone who's a decent win. Barallo has 0 decently ranked wins besides Cannonier, which is a good win to be fair. But you did take Imavov sloppy seconds, if I'm being real. Like so, this is a good win for both of them if either of them can win this fight. And yeah, I like this fight for Barallo, even though this is a little like I'm not being nice to Barallo here. I'm not giving him anyone in the top five. I don't think he really deserves it. You lost to Imavov, even though Imavov is ranked number 2, and then you lost to Cannonier. I mean, you won to Cannonier, but I don't think that's anything special. MVP beat Cannonier, so yeah, I think he should be fighting Allen. And yeah, if he wins, like he can start calling out some decent guys, but let's not pretend Barallo's a monster who's beating all these guys. Next is Imavov, who beat Barallo, and I think he beat him pretty impressively, even though, I mean, it was a competitive fight, but Imavov clearly won. He looked great. He looked really good on the feet. He did show a couple of flaws, mainly the calf kick. But yeah, and he was kind of open to the body kick a little, but still, like this is a no-brainer. Like I tried to be different and be like, who can a model fight besides the title? But no, he just deserves to fight for the title. Like no one else is a pro. Give him Chimaev. Like no one should fight Chimaev other than Imavov. The only condition is if RDR versus Hernandez, if one of those guys puts on a crazy impressive performance, like if RDR KOs Hernandez with some nasty knees, or if Hernandez drags RDR in deep waters and submits him in the later rounds, if but if they just win by decision, just give it to Imavov. Like he deserves it. And even if one of those guys shows a crazy good performance, I still think Imavov should win because like this is just kind of like I don't want to compare Imavov to Bilal, but this is kind of like a Bilal situation where it's like he deserves to win even though he won by decision. It wasn't a crazy fight. He did KO Adesanya before that, and then he just beat Barallo, who had hype and he was undefeated in the UFC. Even though Barello hasn't been anyone crazy, that's still a good win. And I think Imavov, like, let him fight Chimaev. If he loses, he loses. Like, everyone probably loses to Chimaev. He looked like a beast in his last fight. Even though I really like DDP, Chimaev did look good. He looked really dominant. And I think Imavov can pose some threats to Chimaev. I don't think he wins. I think Chimaev ragdolls him like he probably ragdolls everyone. The only stylistic matchup I see that works on Chimaev because I don't think anyone has as good as wrestling as him. Like even Usman was getting ragdolled in the first round. The only a stylistic matchup I see that can work on Chimaev is someone with really good jiu-jitsu. Like maybe a Barallo, even though Barallo doesn't have as good jiu-jitsu as Burns, someone with decent jiu-jitsu and a decent guard game, maybe they can scare off Chimaev off the ground and then force him to fight on the feet. I don't think Imavov has that. He is a dangerous striker. He's a dangerous boxer. He has pop. He has power. And he has cardio. He showed cardio. Like the only time Imavov gassed was against Strickland, and that was a while ago. He's clearly fixed that mistake. Like he hasn't shown in any recent fights bad cardio. He's been looking good in the later rounds. Like his best round was the fourth round against Barallo. His best round against Cannonier was the fourth round. And yeah, I mean, the story of this fight, I think Chimaev will take him down in the first round. Like Chimaev takes everyone down in the first round, and really it matters if Imavov can survive and if he can force scrambles. Because we saw in the DDP fight, even if you can survive, that's not good enough. Like, you have to survive and force him to change positions and scramble like he did against Usman. Um, Even Kevin Holland, even though Kevin Holland got submitted, he forced Chimaev to work for that submission and he forced him to scramble. We'll see if Imavov can do that. He did get held down against Allen, so if I'm being honest, I think Chimaev holds down Imavov and submits him in the first or second round. Yeah, I got Chimaev, whoop-de-doo Chimaev. But yeah, I mean, I don't even think Chimaev is that boring of a champion. I mean, he had one bad fight against DDP. It wasn't the most exciting. And to be honest, I just really like DDP, so that's why I kind of hated on the performance, but it was good. It was dominant. So yeah, this is my matchups for all the fights of UFC Paris. I think I did a pretty good job, you know. I might be a little biased, but I am the best matchmaker on MMA YouTube. Let's go. Imavov versus Chimaev. And also another thing is, people are saying, I just want to talk about Chimaev's activity for a second, real quick. Chimaev, dude, I really don't think he's going to be active at all, so I really hope Imavov beats him, because Chimaev is talking about activity, but then I see him talking like a couple weeks ago about him only fighting in Abu Dhabi or Saudi, and it's like, bro, really off. Like I have a feeling RDR versus Hernandez, the winner, they're gonna have to wait a year, and I won't be surprised if Imavov ends up fighting RDR or Hernandez, because we'll see how long Chimaev wants to sit out. And yeah, that like I do fear for the middleweight division, because there are a lot of top contenders and they are fighting. Like, middleweight is active, but it needs an active champion. Like, the champion decides how active the division is. Like, we saw that with Aspinall and Jones. When Jones was delaying Aspinall to fight for the undisputed belt, we saw how shit the heavyweight division became, because they're not fighting each other. So I hope Chimaev becomes active. And yeah, that's it. That's it. See you for the next one. Yeah. Bye bye, fools.